Okay, so imagine finding a hidden bookshop. How far would you actually go to uncover its story?
That's the hook, isn't it? It's right there on the cover of The Lost Bookshop by Evie Woods, which is what we're diving into today.
Exactly. It's published by One More Chapter, part of HarperCollins. Lovely cover design by Lucy Bennett, too, using photos from Stephen Mulcahy and Shutterstock.
And this novel, it really connects two women, separated by what, a century? All linked by this one mysterious place.
Yeah, and if you're someone who loves, getting those aha moments from a story, figuring things out quickly, this deep dive is definitely for you. We're going to explore how the past kind of bleeds into the present.
And the secrets that old books and even old paintings can hold. We'll be looking at Opaline in 1920s Paris, and then Martha in modern-day Dublin.
Two fascinating characters navigating their worlds through books, but also, their own inner grit.
Definitely. Their stories are really shaped by that love of books.
So let's start with Opaline. Back in 1921, Paris. Even before she gets there, books are huge for her. She has this first American edition of Wuthering Nights.
Right, the one from her father. And the interesting bit is the spine. It says it's by the author of Jane Eyre.
Which is just brilliant, isn't it? It makes you think about judging books or people by their covers, how wrong you can be.
It really sparks something in Opaline, that thought, a book is never what it seems. It sets her up perfectly for what's to come.
It suggests she's already looking deeper, beyond just the surface level.
And when she gets to Paris, sees Shakespeare and Company for the first time.
Wow. You could almost feel it, right? That familiar feeling of excitement and curiosity, looking at the window display, the rainbow of colorful calf bindings, woodcuts.
Imagine being there then. The atmosphere, the people. It must be incredible. Any book lover gets that feeling.
It's more than just a shop, isn't it? Like you said, a hub. Especially for someone new to the city like Opaline. Comfort, but also intellectual buzz.
And she doesn't just browse, does she? She jumps right in, becomes an apprentice.
To Miss Beach, yeah. The pay. Pretty much non-existent.
But the opportunity. Learning the ropes, meeting people, that was the real draw.
There's that great little exchange when she's hired. Opaline says something like, "I'm quite unaccustomed to being speechless."
But this may just be a first. And Miss Beach just shoots back, "Good. Can't stand sentimentalism. So dry."
Instantly tells you about their dynamic. Opaline may be more drawn to the emotion, Miss Beach, much more no-nonsense.
Sets the scene perfectly for her time there.
Now, Opaline also has this ability. She can sense people's hidden feelings, their thoughts.
Yeah, the book gives examples, like knowing Madame Bowden fears getting old, or her mother's secret pain.
Or knowing some random English guy outside is in love with Isabel. It's quite specific.
But she calls it a curse, because somehow, with her own husband, it blinded her, didn't let her see his violence.
It's a fascinating paradox, isn't it? Being so sensitive to others, but missing the huge red flags in your own life. Happens more than you'd think.
It really does. That heightened awareness doesn't always equal clarity, especially when your own emotions are tangled up in it. Desire can be a powerful filter.
And just as she's settling into this literary world, her past crashes in. Literally, her brother Lyndon turns up.
With Bingley in tow,
Yeah.
right. And they've clearly had a few brandies.
Yeah, and they basically haul her off to a hotel, pulling her away from her work, her independence.
It really highlights the constraints, doesn't it? Trying to make her own way, but family, especially male relatives, can just step in. Creates instant tension.
And there's that comment from Bingley calling Lyndon quite the fellow, a man of rare conviction.
Which, knowing what we start to suspect about Lyndon, sounds incredibly ironic.
Totally. And Opaline. She's smiling on the outside, toasting the future, but inside she's already plotting how to get away from him.
Shows her resilience, that inner conflict between appearances and reality. She's learning to navigate it.
We also get a quick flash forward, don't we? See her in present-day Dublin, meeting Henry.
Yeah, she seems scared, very guarded. And there's that incredible tattoo, tiny script all over her back like the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Instantly makes you wonder what happened between Paris and now. What stories are written on her, literally.
Creates such a mystery. How does she get from A to B? That tattoo is a powerful image. Now, just a quick note for you listening. If Opaline's story has grabbed you, you're curious about Martha too, the audiobook link for the full novel, The Lost Bookshop, is waiting for you in the description.
Good point. Okay, so let's switch timelines. Let's talk about Martha.
Martha arrives in Dublin. This is 9 months before the main present-day action. She's at this red brick Georgian house, Halfpenny Lane.
And she clearly doesn't intend to stay long. Not much money. And she's definitely running from something or someone. That vague there.
Yeah, it sets up this feeling of escape, of needing refuge. The lack of detail just adds to the intrigue. Her situation feels precarious.
First person she meets is Madame Bowden, described as looking angry and afraid.
And she has a black eye. Like an angel fallen on hard times. It's a striking image.
Martha has this fleeting thought about a missing bookshop, finds the house odd, and Madame Bowden is just very abrupt.
Paints Madame Bowden as this enigma right away. Maybe troubled. The black eye hints at something dark, and the mention of the bookshop feels like, important foreshadowing.
But Martha, she's practical. She makes this amazing breakfast, described as Michelin star, then just crashes out, sleeps despite being in damp clothes.
Shows her resilience, doesn't it? Finding moments of normalcy, coping, suggests she's got that inner strength she's going to need.
Then, completely unexpectedly, she gets offered a job, running Mr. Fitzpatrick's nostalgia shop. A trial period.
She's worried about the money side, obviously, but feels that ripple of excitement. It's like a lifeline.
A chance for something new, maybe some stability. And it's a bookshop, or close enough. Seems faded.
And the place itself is quirky. The stairs down to her basement flat.
Oh yeah, the words painted on the risers. In a place called Lost Things, Strange Found Are. Love that.
And the wood itself is from an old Italian library. Mr. Fitzpatrick's dad brought it over. So much history baked right in.
It really leans into that magical realism feel, doesn't it? The ordinary world, just slightly tilted, enchanted, almost.
That inscription is perfect. Sets the theme, lost things found, and hints the shop itself is special.
And the basement flat keeps getting stranger, cracks appear on the wall, spreading like tree branches.
And then a book just appears. Normal People by Sally Rooney, out of nowhere.
Which is weirdly specific and contemporary for this old place. It suggests the house, the shop, has this living connection to stories, maybe across time.
Martha reads it, connects deeply with Connell and Marianne, feels like they're real people to her.
Shows how much stories mean to her, how she invests in them, that empathy.
Then she has that slightly awkward moment at the library. Doesn't know how to borrow a book, feels utterly stupid.
But that's how she meets Henry. Seems like a small thing, but it's clearly a turning point. Brings them together.
Her vulnerability there makes her relatable, opens the door for that connection.
We also start to learn more about her past. Shane, her husband, abusive.
And her regret about marrying him, ignoring her mom's warnings. Paints a picture of isolation, trauma she's carrying.
She gives context for why she ran, why she's so guarded, perhaps. The weight of past choices.
And then inevitably, Shane finds her in Dublin. There's a confrontation. It's terrifying.
And it ends tragically. He dies accidentally on the stairwell in the house.
A really dramatic, violent turn. Suddenly her past isn't just something she's running from, it's right there and irreversible. What does she do now?
And Madame Bowden's reaction is, well, chillingly calm. She just starts telling Martha what to do.
So unnerving. It makes you think, what has she seen? What secrets does she have? Her calmness feels suspicious. Like she's taking control.
Meanwhile, Martha's developing feelings for Henry. He seems so different from Shane, the polar opposite.
She's drawn to his passion for saving lost things, books, objects, though at first she thinks he just wants the bookshop.
That shared interest in lost things feels symbolic, doesn't it? He values things others overlook, maybe like Martha herself feels. Offers hope.
But then, the complication. Henry comes back from a trip to London.
And drops the bomb. He's engaged to Isabel.
Ouch. Poor Martha. Has to put on a brave face, act cheerful. Classic romantic obstacle right there. Puts their connection to the test.
But Martha starts her own investigation, really. Finds that miniature notebook, Emily Bronte's.
Hidden in a sewing box from another old bookshop in London. Amazing discovery. That really kicks off her literary detective work.
Connects her directly to the past, to these hidden literary stories. It shifts her focus.
And around the same time, she finds out she's pregnant. Unexpected.
Which adds another huge layer to everything. And it makes her decide to change the focus of her writing. She wants to tell Opaline's story.
Binds their narratives even closer. She feels this need to give voice to this woman from the past.
And then comes the big reveal, the huge twist.
Madame Bowden is Opaline Carlyle.
Mind blown. Suddenly, everything about her makes a different kind of sense. The fear, the anger, the secrets.
And we learn she was put in St. Agnes's Asylum by her brother, Lyndon. Horrifying.
Explains so much. Her confinement, the injustice of it all, shows how vulnerable women could be, betrayed by family.
We also hear about her escape from the asylum, how desperate she was, and how she eventually made it back to Halfpenny Lane on Christmas Eve.
Where she met Joseph, the Austrian internee. Shows her incredible resilience, her connection to that specific place. Find a connection even in dark times.
And finally, the past and present fully merge. Martha and Henry work together, uncover the full story.
Find that hidden room in the attic. Their collaboration deepens their bond too, piecing it all together.
And inside the walls, Opaline's manuscript, a place called Lost.
It's incredible. Like the bookshop itself was protecting her story all along, waiting for the right time, the right people.
Just amazing. And again, if this whole interwoven story have you hooked, the full experience is in the audiobook, links in the description for you.
So wrapping up this deep dive into the Lost Bookshop, what really stands out? For me, it's definitely the power of books, how they connect people across decades, centuries even.
Yeah, seeing how Opaline's love of reading and Martha's own journey through stories literally shaped their paths. That's huge.
And the resilience of these women. Opaline and Martha face so much societal pressures, abuse, loss, being silenced.
But they keep going, don't they? That inner strength, fighting to find or reclaim their own stories. It's really inspiring.
Absolutely. And the idea that old places, old buildings hold secrets. The bookshop isn't just a setting. It feels alive, like a character holding all these memories.
It really makes you think about your own connection to books, doesn't it? What hidden layers might be in the stories you love. Like Opaline realized a book is never just what it seems on the surface.
Such a good point. Which leads us to that final thought for you to ponder. What lost stories might be hidden around you?
Yeah, in the places you see every day. Maybe in a little book on your shelf, or the walls of a familiar building, or even, in your own family history, the unwritten chapters.
Fascinating things to consider.
Definitely. And if this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and you want to uncover all the secrets of the Lost Bookshop for yourself, please do follow the audiobook link in our description. You won't regret it.